Hey guys, it is Jason, and I've literally just come back from Charing Cross. That's going to become a theme, isn't it? The whole or rather Tavistock and Portman as it's now called, but it's pretty much still referred to as Charing Cross. So I don't want to make this too kind of elongated, but I do want to fill you in on what happened firstly at the conference thingy what's it, the introduction to Charing Cross, which happened last week on Thursday. And of course today, which was my first assessment because they happened to cram it all in like 5 days, which is kind of weird, but there we go. There's not really that much to talk about with this, the reason being that because I've done so much research, I actually knew a lot of the information already. However, we did get a booklet with it, and it is worth going to, especially if you don't really know much about the actual procedures of the clinic, if you are somebody who has been referred there or thinking of getting referred there. However, I must warn you that these conferences are long. It was 4 hours, and there was like no break, no food, and also I'm sure I got conjunctivitis from it as well, like being in an air-conned room for like 4 hours. So yeah, just bear that in mind. I also made a new friend called Valentino. He had a very different background from me, so it was very interesting to hear from him, and also I happened to get a piece of music that was playing in the background, which was pretty cool. But more to the point, now on to the assessment itself. So I saw a doctor called Dr. Sahota, who's very nice, although I haven't heard of her before. She might be fairly new, I'm not sure. Some of the assessment went as I thought, others simply didn't. So I've got in my head a few questions that they asked, but to sort of start from the beginning, the journey was very smooth. When we arrived, the admin staff were very nice. You just had to fill out a quick form. As far as I could tell, the appointment was on time, if not even a bit early, which was really good. Things seemed to be sort of running quite smoothly, although I did have a morning appointment, and apparently afternoon appointments are sort of more desired, so maybe it's busier there or something like that. So if you get a morning one, then hopefully, yeah, everything will be nice and smooth for you. The actual assessment was still about an hour long though, and she asked me a plethora of different questions. I thought they would be more standardised though, which was good. I think they changed some of the questions, or maybe they looked at me as a person and sort of changed based on what I was saying. Basically she had like several topics that she covered, and then like little ones in the middle that she asked me specifically, so the questions overall were good. As I said, there were some things that I predicted. So for example, she was asking me about like me, my background, was I working, who do I live with, things like that, and also about sexuality. But she didn't ask me specifically like if any of my family are trans, which I thought would be the case. She also asked me about things to do with, well, the first thing she asked me was what I wanted out of the care, so I made that very, very clear. There was my childhood, teenage years and how I was feeling, and then sort of later on after that, during uni and after, which I tried to make as clear-cut as possible. But I'm not really one of these people who talks in a very kind of logical way. Even though I think I form it logically, I then go quite scattered. And I did sort of tell her this at the end, but she's like, no, it's fine, it's all good. So what did I get out of it? Well, she has put in a referral for speech therapy. I wasn't too sure about speech therapy to begin with, but she said, well, you might as well go to one, see how it goes. I sort of told her about my singing background, and she said, well, the guy who does it is very much into acting and singing, so I'm sure he could at least help you a little bit in what you need. For those of you who don't know or are not familiar with the sort of main UK NHS process, you have to have at least 2 assessments before they offer you testosterone surgery, blah 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 blah, if that's what you want. So I have a card here. My second appointment is on the 15th of May 2018. She's also said, you know, once I've done the second assessment, that's when we can talk about prescribing the testosterone, which is the first bit, which is what the GPs do, or your local GP. And also, after 6 months, we can then start talking about top surgery. She also very kindly offered to help with my passport issue, so it's possible that finally I can at least get my bloody passport changed, because it is going to expire next year anyway, so I kind of need to do it, like, pretty damn soon. So she's sending me, like, a load of reports and stuff, which is good. I'm pleased that I'm going to be getting it, like, in writing, so what we talked about. And that will come in 6 weeks. So quite a few things already set up now, and we were talking about prospect of surgery, which again is just amazing that we were actually talking about it rather than just me talking at a camera. There was no sort of underlying negativity. I have heard of some bad experiences from Charing Cross, so I'm not saying that, oh, they are super duper amazing all the time, but I did have a very good experience, and as I said, they were very nice. There weren't any issues. I didn't hear of any other problems with any other people that were there at the time, or anything for that matter. The main issue is the fucking waiting times, frankly. So, I mean, you know about the waiting times already. There's another 8 months now to go into the second assessment, and then there's the sort of waiting time for prescription, which I think is like maybe a couple of weeks or something, depending. I don't know how long it takes actually. But what I'm hoping, if the second assessment's in May, and that's when testosterone gets prescribed essentially, or a prescription gets sent off to the GP, then I should be on testosterone, I would assume in June, maybe July of next year, so that's really, really awesome. I did get my hopes up thinking I was going to get it before my birthday, but no, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, I have to do more waiting, but there we go, it's buying with time rather than buying with money, but there we go. At least the ball has got a bit early. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the video enough to like the video, subscribe down below, and also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Also, if you enjoy tabletop RPGs, card games, mega games, and various other nerdy things regarding two pairs, then please do click on the links I'll provide over here to my other channel, Pair of Geeks, which I do with my amazing fiance who came with me to Charing Cross today and is so amazing and supportive of me. And as always, I will see you guys in my next video next week, because I do this every Wednesday. Bye bye. I'm supposed to say bye bye.